All right, so boom. Welcome back to Limitless Life. We got another After Effects video today. Today is gonna be the last one for now. So, um, me thinking back at it right now, I don't know if I slipped up and said it in the last video. Somebody tell me. I know nobody's gonna tell me, but I'm practicing for when somebody actually is gonna tell me. All right, mind your business. The last 30 days, I have been in the After Effects space, and you want to say that a month ago. Okay, I can't say that now. So a month and a half ago, I didn't know like rat's ass about After Effects, like nothing. Like I didn't like I opened After Effects and I was like got overwhelmed quickly and just like exited the program. Like I was like, oh my god, bro, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to be an editor or like so for the last past month or so I've been just working at After Effects. So the approach that I was going to go was I was just going to when I first started I was like, all right, better. I'm just going to watch a video every day with something about After Effects until it just starts to like make sense. These are the first couple videos that I watched. Like I was writing them all down, right? And it got crazy fast, so that's why you don't see that the whole thing filled up. My goal was to build a solid foundation and then to see how much I could grow in 1 month. I wanted to get to a comfortable point to where I wasn't intimidated with opening After Effects. Like I said, if you've been keeping up with this series, it's very few of y'all. If you've been keeping up with this series, then you've seen this work before, but it's relevant for this video. So we're gonna go back through, talk about the ones that kind of stuck out and what the mindset was around that end. So let's do that. Let's first of all, let's go back. All right, so let's start here. I made a folder, an After Effects folder. Let's start with what I started with. All right, so yeah, everybody remember the first one that I did. All right, this was my first ever project that I did, and I remember doing this project. Yeah, so I remember doing this project and being super fucking confused right around right there. You know, it was supposed to be way more smooth, but I never did anything like this. And so it got to the point to where I was like, you know what, bro? Stop trying to make this perfect and just show that you actually tried, bruh. This is the first day. I mean, not well, it's the first time doing something. First, like at this point I'm still understanding the mechanics of After Effects in general as a whole. So you know, it was more so. It wasn't about being perfect. None of this was about being perfect, but this was more so about like crossing that intimidation barrier. Let's just say that. Saying, so that's why I first started. When I did that, I was feeling it a little bit more. I was like, okay, we got that out the way. I remember I said in the first video that I would create a template of all the videos that I watched. I'm only gonna do that if somebody like requests that. Like somebody says that I want that. But you know, it's kind of if nobody is asking for it, it's really no reason to do it. All right, so this is the second one. Right, all right. You know, it's a little bit more smoother at this point. You know, this was a little bit more personalized. Like the video that I watched didn't tell me to do it like that. It was giving me ideas of what I could do, and I was kind of like getting the gist. Okay, so now we'll go to biggest skills that I learned. I picked these because they did kind of set me up for whenever I did do more of the relaxed projects. First one, which I said in the last video, this one set me up for the logo animation that I'm gonna put at the front of all my visuals whenever I do edit and shoot. Right, so this introduced me to like paths and bringing in text from different ways and making everything kind of come together. It was like chaos in the beginning and then boom. Next one, the lyric video. New day, new chance for new money. All heavens, I'm trying to run from them. Yeah, all of my lonely, I don't need nothing from them. Definitely confusing. I need to touch back on this. I honestly do, but I'm glad I did it because Like at this point, all the typography and all of the repetition of just animating text in different ways, it started to like become it started to layer. I was doing project based learning, but I was doing what I wanted, if that made sense. Like I made sure that I didn't change up the core, but I definitely like individualized it, so I was kind of like shooting to confuse myself, if that makes sense, but like kind of like and organized confusion, kind of like jumping ahead a little bit, just to kind of like occur some problems that if I watched the video through and step by step, I wouldn't have occurred those problems, but I kind of occurred those problems and tried to think through them before I got to that point in the video to whenever they explained. I can smell that food. It's making my mouth water. Next one, 3D camera movement. Yeah, yeah, it's not something that's just gonna be like, all right, bet. Even if you're watching the video, this is what I want people to realize. Even if you're watching the video, that don't teach you, like, I mean, it teaches you, but that does not make this any more simpler. That's what I say. Like, it still was confusing as hell, and I was watching somebody walk me through it. I actually had to like break away. It's like, what is going on? What is the problem? Because I don't know if anybody else have had this problem before, but I'll be watching tutorials and I could do the tutorial exactly how that person says it and I still get a different result. Why is that? It's been times like that before and I had to problem solve in order to get the same result that they did, even though they didn't give me all the exact steps. But those are times whenever you're learning the most. And then we have best project based win. Yeah, this one is cool, bro, because the whole boomerang backflip, triple front flip type deal that I did over there, it's like, dang, it just gives a different feel and vibe to how I'm showcasing the brand. At this point, I was starting to feel myself a little bit. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, this look good. This is nice. Like, I'm starting to see that the more that I am interested into this, the better that I'm going to get. The more time that I put into it, the better that I'm going to get. Like, it's going to get to a point to where creatively my brain is going 100 miles per hour, just like it does whenever I'm writing music. It's going to get to that point. This is the, yeah, they done fucked up part. You know what I mean? This is the part where I was like, yeah, they done fucked up. They didn't let me learn. I'm telling everybody, like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm getting there. I like my work. Like, I'm liking the results that I'm seeing, and it's the confusion, the learning curve. I'm starting to see it break. And then we got our infamous, you know what I mean? That's gonna stick with us. That's an asset that I have, and that's good, bro. I've made another one today. I made another one today just for this video. And then we got our, bro, I am so proud of this. I'm gonna play this twice. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now. Y'all will see this 3 times, all right? So yeah, when I first did it, it was just like that, and then I had the sound effects and the little sweep, the fade out. That's one. Very proud of myself, bro. Like, it don't even look like a lot. It don't look like a lot, but it's just the fact that, like, I didn't know how to do none of this a month and a half ago. It's just that moment whenever it clicks to you, whenever you start to see the fruits of your labor. Me knowing what I know now, and the fact that I got access to Premiere and all these other programs, why not learn them? Why not take this time to set me up for years and years to come? If I understand the fundamentals and basics of the programs that I know that I'm going to be like interacting with and that everybody else in the industry interacts with, I'm setting myself up for life. My After Effects journey was supposed to be 30 days and it lasted about 22 days. Around 21 days I realized and felt like I was about at that 80% mark. And so at that point, I felt very comfortable about everything that I did up until that point. I took the stress off myself about just, this 30-day period. And, I'm still watching videos, but I wasn't stressing myself out to project-based learn every day because for what I had wanted to do, I did. So we took the After Effects, which was the 2D editing and animating, and then now we're going to take an intermission period to learn how to draw a little bit better what I can see So when I get into 3D animation, which is Blender, because we're gonna do that challenge too, I will have a little bit more flexibility when it comes to what I can make, because I'm literally painting the canvas. Whatever I want to, whatever I visualize, I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying, create. I don't want any limits. You should start to see a trend with this series. There's so many different lanes when it comes to editing and animating that it's like I got so many more opportunities and possibilities with branding and to work with different people now that I just kind of crossed that barrier. And you sit back and you're like, I can do this with whatever. It may not be 21 days with everything. Some things may go longer than 30. It may have to be 60, but it's just the fact that you can make progress. You can go from nothing to something. But Turn Me Back Up was that. You know what I mean? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I did that. I have to drop YouTube videos, bro. Even if they're sloppy. The light just went off. That means just do it. Get and figure it out later. That's what we into. That's what we gonna do. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting, bro. Like I said, keep positive energy around you. Keep striving to do better. And remember, there's nothing in this life that you can't do. Limitless life, baby. We'll see you in the next one.